Okay guys, so in this episode, we're gonna be talking about my 2000 Mustang GT. Okay, so in this episode, I'm gonna talk about the story behind how I got my car, what got me into these cars, and then some of the mods that I've done so far. I bought this car almost 2 years ago from a woman in Michigan, and I'm the second owner, and I got it for $4,000 with 72,000 miles on it. So of a car of this era, with that few of miles, $4,000 is a steal. You can hardly get these cars for less than 6 grand with, let's say, 100,000 miles on them. But I was able to get mine for 4 grand, basically because I sat around for about a year searching for it. I wanted to get one that had a 5-speed, and I really wanted the GT, and I didn't want to spend an ungodly amount of money, like 6 or 7 grand, on a car, because while that's what they're selling for, I really don't think that's what they're worth. I think they're worth about 4 or 5 grand. So if any of you guys are searching for this type of car, I would spend a lot of time on AutoTrader or Craigslist looking for a car with that kind of a deal, because they are out there. You just have to spend more time looking for them. What got me into these cars? Well, my dad has a 2003 SVT Cobra, and he's had it since it was new, so I've always been in love with this body style. Now, I knew that there was no way I was going to be able to afford a Terminator right now, and I figured the GT was as great a place as any. All right, so what are some of the mods that I've done and I think that are really necessary for this type of car? Well, for me, the first mod that I did was upgrading the wheels, because personally, I don't like these stock, I think they're 16-inch wheels. And I got an American Muscle and they were on sale. I bought these chrome FR500 17-inch wheels, and they are 17 by 9 in the front and 17 by 10.5 in the rear. That allows me to fit a 275 front tire and a 315 rear. Really, the car doesn't have the power to need that 315 rear tire. Hopefully in the near future, it will, but as of right now, it's really just an appearance option. And you can tell, at least I think it looks pretty good. It makes the car stand out, makes it look like it's got a whole lot more power than it really does. The tires that I went with are Nitto Motivo tires. They are the biggest all-season tire that I could find. Now, no other tire manufacturer makes a tire that fits a 10.5 wheel in a 315 tire size and is still an all-season. But I wanted to be able to drive this in the winter, in the rain, whenever I needed to, because that's really what it is. It's a driver for me, and that's what I was looking for. The next mod that I did was a front appearance package. Now, I didn't buy the full appearance package. I personally just went and did a few different things. I got the front Mach 1 grill delete, so that got rid of the honeycomb grill. The next thing I did after that was I bought the clear headlights and fog light kit, and I think that made a huge difference. I did that probably 5 or 6 months ago, and it even helped at night, which I wasn't expecting. I thought since I'm just changing the lenses, it's really not gonna make that big a difference. But the stock chrome headlights must have been fogged over. It made a big appearance difference, and it made a big difference from just drivability standpoint. So the next mod that I did was the MagnaFlow Competition catback exhaust and Bassani X-Pipe. Now, the car, when I bought it, had a BBK off-road X-Pipe and a Dynamax catback exhaust, both of which were rusting. I think the BBK was aluminized, but I'm not sure because it seriously did not look like it was supposed to be stainless steel. The welds were rusting, and I was surprised that it had lasted that long, but it had. All right, so another mod that I did and I think is absolutely crucial for any new Edge owner is lowering springs. From the factory, they have almost a 4x4 stance, and I'm not quite sure why Ford released it from the factory that way, but they did. So I bought a set of SR Performance lowering springs and strut tower brace, and I think it makes the car look 100 times better. Now I wish the front end was a little bit lower because the rear end squats too much, but I'm planning on solving that. So the SR Performance caster camber plates and strut tower brace were installed, and it's a little bit tricky. You have to drill some holes in your firewall and on your strut tower. But with that being said, I could tell that it made a difference driving down the road. Now the front end before, at 70 miles an hour, 75 miles an hour driving the interstate, it didn't feel as planted as it does now. Now, the only interior mod that I have done was the MGW short throw shifter. And really that's because of my experience at a drag strip. I went and raced at Norwalk, Ohio as part of the Roadkill zip tie drags, and just out of my own stupidity, I couldn't get it into second gear occasionally. So I figured the short throw shifter would help me with that. And it has in some ways. That shifter is really stiff. I personally like it, but probably for most people, it's not the best option. I think the Steeda or Hurst shifters are a little softer and smoother, easy to get into gear. This, you really have to work at it. And coupled that with the clutch, it's kind of a pain to drive the car around, especially in traffic. The interior is, you know, early 2000s, late 1990s Ford interior. It's not anything special. All the ergonomics are very basic. It's, you know where everything is because it's all spelled out for you. They tell you where it is. They explain everything with words, not even with pictures. If you look at the defroster or the instrument cluster, everything's in words. Low, high, vent, AC. And my car even has a cassette player and a CD player, which I know for a fact most New Edge Mustangs don't have because, well, who uses a cassette? Sorry, I'm gonna divulge a little bit of information here, and one of the things that I'm planning on doing to help with that rear height is I bought a 2003 SVT Cobra independent rear suspension, and I'm currently rebuilding it, and hopefully that will help with that, and it will also help with handling. I'm going to be putting some full tilt boogie racing bushings in that, and I'm going to sandblast the whole thing. You'll see a lot of videos about this in the near future, but it should make a difference driving down the road, and I'm hoping to turn this car into an autocross and or track car, so hopefully that will help significantly with handling. It's gonna need a lot more. It's gonna need brakes, some other stuff. And I'm gonna keep you all posted, and you'll hear all about that on a future episode. So thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.